Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today, now that Manchester United season's over, we're going to do a season review of how our season has gone. And you know, it's kind of been a very up and down season, but we're going to go through it very quickly, slowly. We'll see how it goes. Starting with how our season actually went in just a quick roundup. League position, we finished 8th. Meaning we didn't get Europe from the league, which is always a bit of a pain in the arse, but it's what it is. I think it's the kind of season we deserve to finish 8th. I don't think, did we deserve to finish 8th? I thought we had a better season than 8th, but it's just the way the Premier League is right now. It's a lot more competitive than it used to be. A poor season like this, you'd be able to, you know, get into that 5th spot for that Europa League, but now, nope. Our league record is 14 losses. It's just not good enough. It's just really not good enough. 18 wins and 6 draws. We didn't draw a lot, but you need to start turning them losses into wins, and then that's when we can start competing for stuff. If you look at how City did this season and only losing like 3 games, that's where we need to be. We lost at 14. It's really not good. The Champions League was not good enough either. Group stage exit there. The FA Cup though, come on. Carabao Cup 4th round, and that total season records of 25, 8 and 19, which, you know, Manchester United standards really isn't good enough. It's really not good enough. We've been hit by injuries all season, but it's just not good enough. We'll see how that affects the future with Ten Hag. Obviously, it's not, well, as I'm recording this, nothing's been said about his future. I think he should probably stay. I think he probably deserves to stay. At least 1 more year. I think he deserves a chance for that 1 more year. And if it doesn't work out next year, then yeah, fairs. It is time to go if it doesn't work out next year. But you can't, after 2 years, winning 2 trophies, it's what we wanted as United fans. We want to win trophies, and we got 2 of them. The Premier League talk for us now. We're going to talk about the turning points of the season. Start with the turning points of our season, which were ups and downs. You know, that 3-1 loss to Arsenal being that first one that Ten Hag seems to have not shut up about all season. He goes on about it constantly of how he thinks it was a major turning point in our season. 4 games in there. That Bournemouth result there at home, 3-0 loss, is a massive turning point. That was a full-on downfall of our season. 0-0 against Liverpool though the week after made us feel like, oh, you know, it's not all over. And then that 3-2 against Villa a couple of weeks after that made us think, you know what, we can, you know, do something this year. And then it is kind of, and that 4-3 loss against Chelsea is kind of where it went, right, yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? Chelsea are going to overtake us here. Because it just didn't, that game kind of took it out of me as well. It was, you know, winning 3-2 in the 97th minute to lose 4-3. It was one of them where I just go, oh, I really like football, I do, it's great. Oh, that's not right. The big moments, I'm going to talk about that 2-1 win against Brentford. I was there for that game. That was one of the, I think that was the 2nd Premier League game I went to this year. Oh my God, what a view I had for it as well. What a view I had for them McTominay goals. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful day. That 2-1 win against Brentford was a massive moment. That 3-0 against Everton, another massive moment. The 3-2 against Villa, I think was a massive moment. Højlund getting his first goal in the league for us. Obviously getting 5 in the Champions League, but his first goal in the league, that is massive for us. That 4-3 against Wolves where Mainu scored, and at the last minute it kind of felt like, you know, a weight had been lifted off our back after that game, and I just had a smile on my face for the rest of the day. That 2-0 against Liverpool, another game that I was at, and it was a good view to watch that Bruno goal. It was just a good day out. We should have probably got the win that day, but we didn't. But I still got a big moment because it ruined Klopp's farewell. So thank you very much, guys. And then that 3-2 against Newcastle being another big one towards the end of the season. It kind of ended us on a high. We won our last 3 games. Now we're on a nice little bit of run. But then we've got to talk about the disappointing moments too. As I said, we lost 14 times. There's going to be a few disappointing moments in there, like that 3-1 against Arsenal, like the 3-1 against Brighton, like the 3-0 against Bournemouth, like that 2-0 against West Ham, like the 2-1 against Fulham, like the 4-3 against Chelsea. And it's like losing both times to Crystal Palace with that 4-0 loss just taking it out of me. But we turned it around after that. We really did turn it around after that Palace result. So if that's the kick of ass we needed, it's the kick of ass we needed. The Champions League run wasn't too great either. A 4-3 loss against Bayern Munich, a 3-2 loss against Galatasaray at home is terrible. We got our first win in that 1-0 win against Copenhagen, but then lost 4-3 to Copenhagen, which just ain't good enough. And then drew 3-0 to Galatasaray, and then 1-0 lost to Bayern Munich, meaning we ended the Champions League on 4 points, and it saw us say au revoir to Europe very, very quickly. If we'd have got that result against Copenhagen, we would have stayed in the Europa League for a bit. I might have done something in the Europa League, but it wasn't meant to be. It just was not meant to be. In the FA Cup, however, that's where things, went to be. 2-0 against Wigan with Bruno and Dalot getting them goals for us. 4-2 against Newport. Bruno, Mainu, Anthony and Højlund. That's a nice mix. That's a nice mix I was very happy with. Casemiro doing the dirty work against Forest, which is always good to see. Casemiro's had a bit of an up and down season, but that was a big moment for him. 4-3 against Liverpool, which was my favourite game of the season, with Amad Diallo scoring that late goal to win us the game. It made me so happy. And then that 3-0 against Coventry, probably the low point of my season, to be fair. Despite us going through into the final, it did not feel like a success to me. It did not. It felt like the world had just swallowed me up and I was dead inside. It was a painful day, but it got us here. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what we've got to be happy about. We won the FA Cup. We beat City 2-1 with Garnacho and Mainu getting the goals, and Bruno played a big part in them goals too. C'est magnifique it was. It was just brilliant. I just love football. I do love football. Again, on to now the team of the season for Manchester United. I'm going to start with the obvious one in there, Onana. Bayern, they played like 2 games all season. It has to be Onana in net. So Onana gets his chance in net. Dalot at left back. I think he's been our best fullback on either side this year, thanks to Luke Shaw being injured for a lot of it. But Dalot has to go at left back so that we can make space at right back for in a second. We've got Maguire and Varane as the 2 centre backs. We've had a lot of injuries to our centre backs, but these have been the 2 most consistent in the team. Johnny Evans could have easily made I've got in either of these positions, but I feel like Maguire and Varane have been better altogether. But Evans deserves that special shout too to get in that team. I thought Camboire was good when he's played as well, and so was Martinez, but obviously Martinez has been mostly injured this season. And at right back we have to go Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who had a great performance against City in the final, and when he needs to, he can just lock someone out. In the centre mid, the first centre mid I put in it has to be Mainu. It has to be Kobe Mainu. Who else could it be? What an incredible breakout season he's had. He's been so good all goddamn year, and I've loved having him in the team alongside McTominay, who's been so clutch all year with his goals, and Bruno, who at the end of the day it's Bruno Fernandes. I couldn't speak about Manchester United without speaking about Bruno Fernandes right now, because he's the man. He is the man. Garnacho on the right side. It could have been Anthony, it could have been Diallo, but it has to be Garnacho. It has to be Garnacho. Because on the left side, I've gone with Rashford, just down to the fact I think Rashford had a better season than Anthony, and he's played more than Amad, so I've got to put him in this team. And then Garnacho has to get into the team without a doubt, because he's been one of our best players. And then Højlund up front, who has been our best striker this year. On to my player of the season, goal of the season, and signing of the season. I think all 3 are pretty obvious. I think actually goal of the season is the most obvious one. It's the goal of the season. It's Garnacho's overhead kick. It was such a good goal. That's why I included it in the turning points in that 3-0 win that we had against them, because Garnacho scored a crazy good goal, and it was an enjoyable match to watch. Signing of the season, I've had to put Onana over Højlund. I just think Onana's been a bit more key to the team this season. Højlund next year might have a better year, but right now it has to be Onana. I think both guys came and did the job that we signed them for. Højlund was our top goal scorer this year with 16 goals, and think about it, if he got past 2 more, he might have even more. And then Onana, he turned it around for the rest of the season. But as player of the season, I've gone with Dalot. A lot of people might say Bruno. I've cut Bruno out of this picture, but I think I had to go with Dalot. I think I have to go with Dalot for what an incredible season he's had. With such an injury-stricken season, and this guy's just been consistent in the team all year, in the defence, putting in performances week in, week out, consistently good performances. This guy deserves his praise. I think he won Fans Player of the Year for United as well, and obviously Bruno won Players Player of the Year. But Dalot, what a season he's had. It's been a very up and down season. As I said, I don't know what I want to see change next year. I'm going to do a transfer video at some point probably, so that's what we'll talk about in that. But yeah, that is the end of this video now, guys. Let me know how you think about United season and what you thought, how United season went, and who gets in your United team of the season, because I'm always interested in hearing stuff like that. Let me know who you played the season was, goal of the season, and signing of the season was for Manchester United. And if you don't support Manchester United, Let me know the stuff about your club, because I'm always interested to talk about your club too. That is the end of this video now, guys. I do thank you for watching. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, because I'm on the channel all the time. Thank you for watching, guys, and hopefully I do see you next time. Cheers.